Hello, and welcome back. In this segment, I'm going to talk about something I don't think you people actually know about me very much. It's true. I like Transformers. The old stuff, the good stuff. I can't keep this story on forever. I love Transformers. I'm specifically not a total G1er. I really got into it in Beast Wars, then watched Beast Machines and Armada. Oh wait, then Robots in Disguise and Armada. Watched a bit of Energon, kind of dropped off in that, then never watched barely anything of Cybertron, then Animated, maybe seen half an episode of Animated. And Prime, one episode. But right now I'm kinda putting my steel to the test, my metal to the test, as that I've watched all of Season 1, I am 2/3 through Season 2 of G1. Of course, the movie 3, 4, then Season 5, then Generation 2 is just reruns. I still don't know if I'm watching Headmasters or the Japanese TV shows, because that totally, they did their own thing, and that doesn't count as canon at all. It's, not the North American canon at all. And then Beast Wars, yippee, love Beast Wars. And Beast Machines, that's gonna be a bit rough, I think. Because even as an 8-year-old kid, when that was on back in 2099, I was like, this doesn't feel like Transformers. This feels off. I'll get to it. I'll explain myself, to be sure. But right now, talk about G1 Transformers. Way back in 1984, the year my sister was born, my eldest sister, Janine, the one who gave me my fabulous nephew. And I have countless arguments with him about the movies, Pineappletron and Product Prime, as I call them. We'll get to the movies if I have to, when I've done my enough research and going insane. Now, how Transformers started off was it's a toy franchise by Hasbro. Simply put it as the great movie Bob said, what are the Transformers? They're simply this. Toy car turns into toy robot. There. That's it. Toy car, toy robot. Sandbox Nirvana. That's it. You don't need to tell a child in a civilized world that much about it, because that's it. And they put a story around it, and it's very much a sci-fi war story. And of course, it's the 80s, it's going to be campy, it's going to be silly, it's an 80s cartoon. It's one of them that causes many tropes and situations that's on Robot Chicken of today. And this is where it all began. The miniseries, the 3-episode miniseries of More Than Meets the Eye. And I loved it. Of course, there was animation errors galore. Sorry, I was drinking water. And I had myself peanut butter and honey sandwich. Fucking delicious. This is where it all began, was a 3-part mini that kicked it off. We're first introduced to the planet of Cybertron by the narrator. The guy who does the narration in this, he has a sinister, awesome voice. It's just fantastic. I can't do it. Now we return to the Transformers. He has this raspiness. It's so sinister sounding, and somehow it just hits the tone perfectly. And we're kind of dived into this heavily, that this planet of Cybertron is dying because of this war. They're running out of resources and energy, and so far we got it that the main populace is gone, and it's just down to these two warring factions. There is no not civilized, but citizen robot Cybertronians, as it were. They're just these two warring factions, and that's it. And Megatron figures out that no wait, how the fuck did it go? Well, the Autobots kind of come to concise point that Cybertron is dying and we need to go and find another planet for energy and resources. So Megatron follows the Autobots, and they get into a whole space battle in a giant asteroid field, and they manage to crash landing on Earth, and the Earth of 4 million years ago, before I think, when was the dinosaur? 65 million years ago? Somewhere mammals, I guess, were around. I'm not a fucking history teacher, but if you're Beast Wars fans, you know what happens in there. But not that. That's a major spoiler. Oops. But the 3-part mini is just an epic, fantastic thing. Of course, as I said before, there's animation errors because this was horribly rushed. There's animation errors galore that me and Duke have gazed over and joked about, such as Autobots not having the symbol on their chest and being mixed up with the Decepticons, or the most famous one of Optimus Prime not having a mouth, his mouth plate. He doesn't have a mouth, but face plate. You know what I mean. But the action, the first 3 episodes were good, solid. They put effort behind it. There's fluidity. I love the lasers in this show. I just love it. It's just this stream of this stream of light that dissipates and breaks apart in some erratic fashion. Like they're really just, when it fires has recoil and like that, not some pussy fucking mist blast from a pineapple robot. He only uses it once. And they don't fire bullets. But missiles, because missiles is very much a great way of killing your enemies. Of course, in the show, there's no killing up until the movie. And here, everybody has, of course, a team-like firing. They fire in every random direction. If somebody gets hurt, they're not really showed or scraped, but occasionally they are. And I do like that. I just love the idea of having maintenance on a character that is a robot, and mechanical things and repairs and machinery. I just love the whole Iron Foundry kind of aesthetic that the Transformers universe has, that they use not synonyms, but innuendos like skid plate for ass or stuff like that. Not necessarily innuendos, just that they're equivalent of said body part. I could go on forever about this. The story's fantastic. In here, sorry, watching Bill Maher. But, fuck, I'm bad at this. ADD's kicking in again, but the thing I really want to get across here, that is a great miniseries that started off the first season of 1984 of the Transformers. It establishes the human character. The only 2 human characters so far in the series. We get more later on in the show. But we get Spike Witwicky and his father Sparkplug Witwicky. Not the most common of names, but far more characters than other people with the last name of Witwicky. They're both oil workers. Now that's interesting because the whole premise of the Decepticons are to harvest and gather energon from any valuable resource. And this was back in G1 before we had established in Beast Wars that energon is also an element, like say ore or diamonds or gold or stuff like that. It's an element in itself. But I think it's adopted. They do use the diamonds of Burma, these crystals, these rubies. I guess it's kind of like we kind of think that's energon now, those diamonds or those things, because energon does come in a crystallized form, so we kind of assume that it's kind of, kind of sort of retconning when you know stuff that came later and you adapt it now. It's just, it's not necessarily retconning, but like in that sense. Duke, you know what I mean. What else was on here? A lot of the fight scenes in here are quite well. It's kind of surprising when you see a 20-foot robot. Personally, one of my favorites, Ironhide, pronounced Ironhide. Drop kick Soundwave right in the back of the head. Are probably some of my favorites in here are the most unlikely ones. I love Wheeljack. He's definitely the mad scientist who's his own worst enemy. I just love the Brooklyn accent he had. I think it's a Brooklyn accent or some type of accent that I do enjoy of him and Ratchet. I love that. It's so sad when we come to the movie. Ugh. And some Autobots do die that you wish they would die but didn't. Fucking blaster. But that's season 2. Power Glide. Ugh. Aside from that, I just love Transformers the show, and this is only the beginning because we got another 13 episodes, and I'll kind of scroll through them haphazardly as I do, looking down the list and giving my impressions of that episode and what I thought of it, of all of them, and in here it's just a mini-series. I don't want to spoil it because it's an introduction, and some of the heroes in here don't get really established that well. Say is Bumblebee, he gets it later on in season 1. The main character Autobot is supposed to be the partner for Spike. Originally was supposed to be Hound, the hologram partner with Mirage, who later on becomes the big hero of this story arc, surprisingly, and he's nowhere to be found in the movies. Fuck. And Hound gets swapped with Bumblebee later on, which I think is okay. I still like Hound. He's one of the Autobots, one of the most gentlest and most nicest Autobots to said nature, next to Beachcomber. Again, he appears in season 2 only. In season 2, he's not only whatever. You know what I mean. Anything else? Of course, the Decepticons are fantastic, and one of the funniest things from episode fucking 1. Star screams like, "I will be the Decepticon leader," and like Megatron's like, "Never." And even from day one out of the whole 98 episodes plus TV show, plus 98 episodes plus movie, he was always trying to usurp Megatron. I just thought that was hilarious. Day 1, and he's not subtle about it either. It's like, wow. Every other episode, he's like, Megatron fucking stubs his toe, and Starscream's like, "I'm new leader now." It's like, calm down. There are goofy things like Optimus playing basketball. That's later on. Just fuck people. It's the same reason that you watch the original Star Trek. 50% for the science fiction, 50% for the goofiness, alright? If that's for me. Alright? May the force of evil become confused on the way to your house. Bye. Till all are one.